In 1850, a series of village settlements developed along the Nepean Road, extending from East Brighton to South Road, which was known as South Brighton. This was to become the district of Moorabbin. In 1852, a number of 2-acre allotments, the size of which were considered to be ideal for family market gardens, were established and became known as the 2-acre village. The Irish and Scottish settlers proved to be hard-working, industrious farmers who supplied Melbourne with most of their fruit and vegetables. Very soon, small businesses shot up along the Nepean Road, one of which was the Kengrens Hotel, later to be renamed the Cheltenham Hotel. The Quays Exchange Hotel was built on an adjacent site, a more substantial structure that remains to this day as the Tudor Inn. It was, however, the Cheltenham Hotel in its early days that was so prosperous and well known that the district became known as Cheltenham. We're not sure which of these founding fathers allocated that area of land as a reserve, but it was this space that was to provide the sport and recreational facility we enjoy to this day. A railway line was built in 1881 with 8 stations between Caulfield and Mordialloc. Its location transferred the commercial and retail centre of Cheltenham from Point Nepean Road to Charman Road, the land between the rear of these shops and Point Nepean Road being used as a sports field and showgrounds area. By the turn of the century, the increasing population were demanding sport and leisure facilities. The showgrounds supported the vigorous football team and cricket team, which was to be followed by the Cheltenham Ladies Cricket Team. The present turning circle on the city side of the Cheltenham railway station was a lawn bowling green. Just off Park Road, a tennis court was built in the Cheltenham Park. The attractive clubhouse and tennis courts occupied the highest land in the park, with views that once extended to the Caulfield Racecourse. This later became the site of the War Memorial. As Cheltenham developed, the football field and cricket ground were relocated to the Cheltenham Park. An area of ground extending from the sports field past the side of the Billabong and across the present 8th and 9th fairways of the Cheltenham Golf Club had been cleared for a rifle range. It was used from the turn of the century by the Cheltenham Rangers, who established a gun club that remained until the 1920s. A large billabong was located in the middle of the reserve, which had provided drinking water to the Aboriginals and the first settlers in the area. The billabong remained as a hazard on the course until the 1960s, when it was filled in, but following heavy rains it can re-emerge to this day. All that was missing at this stage was a golf course. The first reference to a course was on the 19th of November 1910. The Sandringham Southern Cross stated, "Cheltenham Golf Club has decided to go on with the work of laying out the links in the Cheltenham Park under the supervision of one of the caretakers of the Sandringham Links." The article goes on to say council have purchased the land for a new sanitary depot and the Cheltenham Gun Club had acquired a new venue. This proves that the Cheltenham Golf Club set out to build the links 100 years ago, but it was no doubt the intervention of World War I and the consequential loss of members of the community that delayed the work for another 2 decades. In 1922, Victoria Golf Club purchased 128 acres of land adjoining the remaining half of Cheltenham Park. The land was cleared and the magnificent clubhouse and course we see today was opened on the 14th of May 1927. It may well have been the attraction of the adjacent Victoria Golf Club that spurred the local residents into finally applying to the Shire of Moorabbin for permission to build a 9-hole golf course for the use of members and the general public. Within a very short time, approval was received and clearing of the designated land commenced. A club committee was formed and the first meetings were convened in the Mechanics Institute Hall on Nepean Road. It was agreed to appoint Frank Lennox as the course architect. Work commenced using voluntary labour to transform the tea tree scrub covered swampland into a playable course with grass greens. There is no doubt that it was Frank Lennox's considerable experience that achieved this. In an extract from a letter to the Argus newspaper, the Honourable Secretary of the Cheltenham Golf Club, C.E. Bedford, wrote, "The park is Crown land, and a few years ago a portion of the park consisting of land which was formerly a sanitary depot, rifle range and a marsh, together with the old water reserve, was granted permissive occupancy by the Crown Lands Department for the formation of a golf links. It was covered with dense bracken, coarse grasses, cape weed and reeds. There is still a large part of the park, probably 20 to 25 acres, still in its natural state, and very little of the land now used as golf links was heath country." Frank Lennox, Victoria's golf club curator, lived in a house adjoining the proposed golf course at the end of Victor Avenue. In this photograph taken in 1936, the house, billabong and sand quarry that became the Shipston Reserve are clearly visible. What was still missing was a clubhouse, and in 1939 part of Victoria's 7-court tennis area was purchased for this purpose. A comfortable clubhouse was constructed, most of which remains to this day and consists of the bar, L-shaped lounge, ladies' sitting room and change rooms, and what is now the Spike Bar was the men's changing room. The kitchen, dining room and pro shop were in a separate building. It should be noted that many of the facilities and additions were achieved by the voluntary work of members, as well as the building extensions that now create the comfortable environment that the members and guests enjoy today. An article in the Argus, Down the Fairway by Alan Trengrove, reminds us of one highlight that sums up the very nature of this club. A couple of years ago, English businessman Harry Davis, on a visit to Melbourne, was made an honorary member of the Cheltenham Golf Club. The locals knew little of the newcomer except that he was a member of the Cheltenham Golf Club in England. Davis enjoyed his golf here and then went home thrilled by the hospitality lavished on him. Temporarily, he was forgotten, but the other day Cheltenham had a surprise. It received a magnificent silver tray bearing this inscription: "Coronation Year to the Cheltenham Golf Club, Melbourne, Australia, in friendship. From the Cotswold Hills Golf Club, Cheltenham, Gloucestershire, England, 1953. This was the beginning of a lasting friendship and the start of an annual competition played on the last Saturday in August, in which the top 8 net scores win the day. There is keen rivalry, and celebratory drinks and photos are exchanged as shown here in 1973.
And particularly to the Cheltenham Golf Club, Melbourne. To all the members, I've met quite a few of you over the years, and particularly, of course, to Harry Davis. So some of you may or may not know, he and I started this competition between the two clubs. I, by the way, am Ray Sims. I've met a lot of you, and particularly my present companions who are here today. Well, they've visited us, played our new course. And now a message. Right.
And good luck to England, England in September when we play them. And thanks very much, Ray. I'm sure all the Cheltenham members wish you all the best in the future, and I'm sure Harry does too. Thank you very much.
We're going to actually knock shit out of you, I hope.
Okay, thanks very much. Bye.
There have been enormous changes to golf over the past century, the dress codes being just one.
The 1970s brought a quantum leap forward in golf club membership around the world. It may have been due to the new technology, television coverage, or possibly the relaxation in dress codes that generated this interest.
Cheltenham Golf Club has always recognised the limitations of its short 9-hole course, but instead of allowing this to become a handicap, the club has concentrated on forcing players to hone their skills on the narrow and challenging fairways. Although Cheltenham can be proud of its active seniors and ladies pennant teams, they have recognised their true talent is in introducing juniors to golf. Course etiquette has always been of paramount concern, with juniors receiving suspension sentences for club abuse and similar misdemeanours. It is their understanding of the rules of golf, gamesmanship and the course management that has resulted in many young players proceeding to the amateur and professional circuits. It is with justifiable pride that Cheltenham Golf Club celebrates its 80th anniversary and looks forward to continuing to support its members, the Victorian Golf Association and golf in general.